Imagine a massive Bengal tiger moving silently and deliberately through the sweltering heat of a dense tropical jungle undergrowth. Now, look closely at an alpine musk deer picking its way across a freezing, dangerously steep, wind-whipped glacial ridge. These two animals look like they live continents apart, but they are both navigating the exact same Indian state, Uttarakhand. This is Devabhoomi, the land of the gods. Millions of pilgrims arrive at sites like this to visit ancient temples and bathe in the Ganges. Yet this same terrain also supports one of the highest concentrations of biodiversity on Earth. Within a few hundred kilometers, the land rockets from 187 meters at its base to 7,817 meters at the highest Himalayan peaks. This extreme rise creates a vertical biosphere. Because temperature drops as elevation increases, vastly different climates are compressed into distinct ecological zones. To understand how a tiger and a musk deer can share a single state, we have to climb this biological ladder, from the tropical bottom to the absolute peak. The first rung sits below 1,500 meters. Down here, the air is thick, the humidity is heavy, and the climate rarely dips below freezing. This is the Terai Dwar Savanna, home to Jim Corbett National Park, India's oldest protected reserve. These humid grasslands are capable of supporting massive herbivores and apex predators side by side. Maintaining that population requires a massive volume of food. The warm climate sustains a dense canopy of sal and silk cotton trees, generating the biomass needed to feed herds of elephants and marsh crocodiles. This foundational layer of Uttarakhand's vertical biosphere is a classic subtropical jungle. As the land climbs between 1,500 and 3,000 meters, the jungle falls away. The air cools, dropping into a temperate climate with genuine freezing winters. This middle zone bridges the gap between the low plains and the towering peaks, serving as the territory for famous trekking routes like Nag Tibba. Here, jungle vines are replaced by pine, oak, and bright red burans, a native species of rhododendron. The wildlife is adapted specifically for these high-slope forests. The Himalayan monal, the state bird, relies on this dense mid-elevation canopy to forage and breed. They share these slopes with agile navigators like gorals and Himalayan black bears, who hunt and hibernate across the varied terrain. This temperate zone acts as a biological buffer, preventing the hot and cold extremes of the state from collapsing into one another. Above 3,000 meters, the environment turns hostile. In the shadow of peaks like Nanda Devi, temperatures regularly drop far below freezing. We have passed the tree line. At this altitude, the lack of oxygen and the permafrost make it impossible for tall vegetation to survive. During the brief summer window, these high-altitude meadows, called bugyals, erupt with life. In UNESCO sites like the Valley of Flowers, over 500 species of plants, including the rare Brahma kamal, thrive in the thin air. Mammals like the alpine musk deer and the burrell possess coats and cardiovascular systems evolved specifically to handle the bitter cold and lack of oxygen. Even at the freezing edge of the biosphere, life finds highly specialized ways to endure. From this perspective, Uttarakhand is a compressed, stacked slice of global ecology. This stack is vulnerable. Because the zones are separated only by altitude, deforestation or shifting temperatures at one elevation immediately destabilizes the layers above and below it. Local villagers recognized this fragility decades ago. In the 1970s, as logging threatened the mid-elevation forests, regional leaders launched the Chipko movement. To protect the temperate forests, local women organized non-violent protests where they physically hugged the trees to prevent them from being cut. Their actions were based on a vital realization: protecting iconic wildlife, from the lowland tiger to the alpine musk deer, requires defending the entire vertical ladder. No single rung can survive in isolation.